Sir, did go live. You can start the session now.
Okay, shall I start now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very good morning, dear students. I am Borse Kiran from Kirti College, Dadar, Mumbai. So today it is our second session, second lecture that we are studying poem number 2 from section number 2, the poem The Sower. It is by Victor Hugo. So in our last lecture, in our yesterday's lecture, we have seen what has happened what has happened about the poem. The part of the poem, it is still a remain has what has happened in last lecture. So, आणि मग आपण in the last lecture, that is in yesterday's lecture, that the poetess Torudat, she is sitting in porchway. It is the evening time, and she is watching some pictures outside of the house. She is in veranda. She is in porchway, and at a glance, she saw there is a sower. There is a person. It is the evening time, and so there is sun. Sun is about to set. The time is dying fast. There is twilight. We can find some stars twinkling in the sky, and twilight has spread all over in the sky. And now the working hours even, it has also come to an end. की कवयित्री आपलं जे पोर्चवे आहे, घरापुढे जी मोकळी जागा आहे, त्या मोकळी वरांडा म्हणतो आपण त्याला, त्या वरांड्यात बसलेली आणि हॅलो येस सर हॅलो हॅलो की कवयित्री आपल्या वरांड्यामध्ये बसलेली, सायंकाळची वेळ आहे, सूर्य अस्ताला गेलेला आहे आणि सर्वीकडे एक अंधुक छाया पसरलेली. आणि इव्हन शेतातील काम करण्याची वेळ असो किंवा कामगारांची काम करण्याची वेळ असो, ती आता जवळपास संपत आलेली होती. तुम्ही बघू शकता चित्रामध्ये की पोर्चवे कशा प्रकारे किंवा ट्यूलाइट, त्याचं जे पिक्चर आहे, त्याचं जे सराउंडिंग आहे, इट्स सराउंडिंग यू कॅन सी इन द पिक्चर. अँड नाव ऑल ओव्हर लँड्स we find the shadows run, and within that moment, Torudat, poetess, she saw there is a sower, and that sower is still in his farm. He remains still in his farm. He lingers there. And what is the personality of the poet? What is the personality of that sower? The personality is that the sower, he is old enough. His clothes are rags, that is old, maybe dust, dirty, fully stained with mud because of hard working in the farm. And he patiently stands there. He is thinking something, maybe. And so, looking at this picture, poetess Torudat, She felt very thrilled. She felt very astonished. She felt surprised. की सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे सर्वत्र अंधुकता पसरलेली आहे. की जमिनीवरती पण आपण वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या सावल्या बघू शकतो, रन अक्रॉस द शॅडोज. आणि त्याच क्षणी कवयित्रीला एक व्यक्ती की जो सोवर आहे, शेतकरी आहे, पेरणारा व्यक्ती, पेरत्या व्यक्ती आहे, तो व्यक्ती दिसतो. आणि त्या व्यक्तीचं जी पर्सनॅलिटी आहे ती कशी आहे की त्याने जुने जुने म्हणजे ही इज ओल्ड इनफ की तो वयस्कर व्यक्ती आहे बिकॉज ऑफ द एज. त्याचे जे कपडे, ते कपडे कसे जुने आणि कारण शेतात काम करत असताना जे कपडे धुळीनं किंवा मातीनं स्टेन झालेलेच असतात, त्यावरती त्या डाग दिसतील कदाचित. आणि तो व्यक्ती, तो शेतकरी, तो सोहर हा आपल्या शेतामध्ये एकदम पेशंटली उभा आहे. आणि मग हे सर्व बघून तोरुदत्त कवयित्री तिला एकदम असं आश्चर्यचकित झाल्यासारखं, एक सरप्राईज, थ्रिल वाटलं. आणि मग ब्लॅक अँड हाय हिज सिल्हुएट डॉमिनेट द फरोज डीप. नाऊ टू सॉ द टास्क इज सेट, soon shall come time to reap. आणि मग yes, and then what's happened? The picture, it is the evening time, and the picture, the shadow of that person, the image of the person, that is called silhouette, misshape outline of someone against the brighter background. That background of the sower, it can visible throughout or all over in the farm. There are furrows, that is lines, strange of the plow that we find in the farm. So his shadow, his outline straight, his image, the source image that we find, it is spread all over in the farm. We can also see its outline in the furrows, in the strange or line. And the farmer, he is thinking something. Maybe it is the season of sowing farm. And so he thinks that the task, the work, the activity of sowing is to be start or will be start. And he again thinking after the activity of sowing, there will be crop in his farm. It will again time to come when the crop will be ready. They will reap the crop, and in this way, after harvesting the crop, farmer will get, the sower will get some grain, food, output of his efforts. आणि मग सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे आपण अंधुक असे काही जे इमेजेस आहे, प्रतिकृती आहे, त्या बघू शकतो. त्याच प्रतिकृतीमध्ये एक प्रतिकृती म्हणजे कोणाची आहे, तर त्या सोहरची आहे, त्या पेरणाऱ्या व्यक्तीची, त्या शेतकऱ्याची. आणि त्याची जी प्रतिकृती आहे, ती प्रतिकृती सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे आपण पूर्णतः शेतामध्ये त्याची प्रतिकृती दिसून येते. की जे नांगरलेले जे तास असतील किंवा त्या लाईन्स असतील शेतामधल्या, त्या लाईन्स मध्ये देखील त्याची प्रतिकृतीची जी छाया आहे, इमेज आहे, ब्राईटर बॅकग्राऊंड आहे, ती सर्व पसरलेली आहे. आणि तो शेतकरी काहीतरी विचार करत असणार आहे, की आता कदाचित तो विचार करत असेल की आता शेती शेतात पेरणी करण्याची वेळ आलेली आहे, किंवा त्याला पेरणी करण्याची सुरुवात करेल तो. आणि मग थोड्या दिवसात किंवा काही दिवसात जेव्हा त्याचं जे पीक आहे ते पीक तयार होईल आणि मग ते पीक कापण्याची वेळ होईल, पीक कापल्या जाईल, इट विल बी हार्वेस्टेड, त्याची मशागत केली जाईल, अँड ही विल गेट, आणि त्याला त्याचा जो आउटपुट आहे, ही विल गेट हिज आउटपुट ऑफ हिज ओन एफर्ट्स, आणि त्याला त्याचे एफर्ट्स आहे त्याचा फायदा नक्की होईल, किंवा त्याचा ज्याचे जे एफर्ट्स आहे त्याचे फळ त्याला मिळेल. यू कॅन सी इन द पिक्चर सिल्हुएट, दॅट इज द ब्रायटर इमेज, the dark outline of the something. In our in second picture you can also see the furrows, that is the strange line made in the ground by the plow. जेव्हा नांगरतो, त्या नांगर असताना ज्या रेषा असतात त्यांना आपण काय म्हणतो, ट्रेंच म्हणतो किंवा फरोज म्हणतो. यू कॅन सी इन द पिक्चर. सो आफ्टरवर्ड्स व्हॉट्स हॅपन, when the sower, he starts to sow his farm, he marches, he makes some movements in his farm. Means the movements may be to go and come back, to and fro, that is we call go ahead and coming back. spreading the grain in the farm. Scatters, we can say, the scatters, he's scattering, that is the seeds all over in his farm. And that grain that he scatters, it is called a precious grain because it is valuable for the sower. That grain which he is going to sow in his farm is precious for him. And so the poetess says, yes, so she walked. That is, the poetess, she is in her thought. Maybe she reflects something in her mind. And so she saw that the sower, he is walking with long steps, that is called stride. की आता शेतकऱ्याला असं वाटतं की आता शेतात आपल्या पेरणी करण्याची वेळ आलेली आणि मग तो शेतकरी काय करत असतो, आपले जे हातातील ते धान्य आहे, ते धान्य कसं प्रेशियस आहे, मौल्यवान आहे त्याच्यासाठी, कारण त्याचं पूर्ण वर्षाचं जे जीवन आहे त्याच्यावरती अवलंबून आहे आणि म्हणून त्याला प्रेशियस ग्रेन म्हटलेलं आहे. आणि मग तो हातातून आपल्या हाताने तो इकडे मागे पुढे चालत असतो आणि शेतात आपले हातावारे किंवा हाताच्या साह्यानं ते जे धान्य आहे ते धान्याची पेरणी करत असतो. आणि मग हे सर्व बघून कवयित्री तरुदत्त यांना एकदम आश्चर्यचकित वाटतं किंवा त्याच्या मनामध्ये काहीतरी विचार येत असेल. सी रेस्ट इन हर थॉट. आणि मग ती तिच्या अजून तिच्या कवयित्रीच्या तरुदत्त यांच्या असं निदर्शनास येतं की तो शेतकरी लांब पावलाने शेतामध्ये आपल्या चालत असतो, शेतात पेरणी करत असतो. And now, so it has happened in the last lecture. Now see, darkness deepens, fades the light. Darkness deepens, fades the light. Now his gesture. Darkness deepens, fades the light. Now he gestures to mine eyes are august and strange. His height seems to touch the starry skies. Yes, the darkness deepens. Darkness deepens because it is the evening time, and very soon there will be night. It is the moment. It is the signs of to be a night, and so the darkness deepens. The darkness will be deepens in the sense that आपण तो दाट असा काळोख पसरेल, and whatever the light is, his gestures to mine eyes are august. Yes, every moment, every august, that is noble, dignified, impressive. Gestures, moments, signs, activities of the farmer. The darkness deepens, fades the light. Now his gestures to mine eyes are august. Yes, and so we find that it is the night time. That is, very soon there will be night because it is the evening time. The evening time has also come to an end, and so the sky, the earth, the ground, it has taken place of night. So everywhere we find a darkness. The light has faded away. The light has went because of the darkness. And so the poet, she found the gestures of the activities of the farmer, and his activities, the moments of the sower, is a noble, that is dignified for the poetess. That is, it is impressive. His height seems to touch the starry skies. Whose height? Farmer's height, sower's height. So the poetess Taurudat, she says that the height of the farmer, it looks as if his image, his personality is about to touch the sky, starry skies. The word is used, starry skies. कवयित्रीला असं वाटतं की त्याची जी उंची आहे, शेतकऱ्याची जी उंची आहे, ती आता आकाशाला गवसणी घालणार. Means here we can see the greatness work of the sower that the poetess has described through this line. सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे सर्वीकडे आता म्हणजे थोड्याच वेळात कवितेला बघायचंय की आता अंधार पडणार आहे आणि जी लाईट आहे, जो प्रकाशाची जी छाया आहे ती आता हळूहळू हळू कोमजत चालली, फेडेड अवे म्हणजे हळूहळू संपुष्टात येते आणि त्याच्या ठिकाणी कोण जागा घेते तर डार्कनेस, अंधार. आणि म्हणून कवितेचे जे लक्षात येतं की ज्या सोवर जो पेरणारा व्यक्ती, जो शेतकरी आहे, त्याच्या हालचाली, त्याच्या ज्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी खरंच कशा आहे, इम्प्रेसिव्ह आहे. ही जेस्चर टू माय आईज म्हणजे कवितेच्या डोळ्यामध्ये त्याच्या ज्या शेतकऱ्याच्या ज्या हालचाली आहे त्या कशा आहे, एकदम इम्प्रेसिव्ह आहे आणि एकदम स्ट्रेंज नाविन्यपूर्ण, दॅट इज अट्रॅक्टिव्ह वी कॅन से. आणि म्हणून कवित्री म्हणजे शेवटच्या लाईन मध्ये म्हणते दॅट शी सेज हिज हाईट, त्या शेतकऱ्याची उंची आहे, दॅट इज द ग्रेटनेस ऑफ द फार्मर इज एक्सप्रेस्ड इन द लाईन. कवित्रीच्या म्हणण्यात काय म्हणणं आहे तिचं की त्याची जी उंची आहे, उंची आकाशाला गवसणी घालणारी किंवा आकाशाला कुठेतरी टच स्पर्श करणारी असेल. म्हणजेच की जे महान कार्य शेतकऱ्याचं किंवा जे हिज एफर्ट्स आहे त्याबद्दल कवित्री, दॅट इज द. And so this was the poem that Torudat, she has very well watched the picture of the farmer, the sower who lingers, who stays in his farm, and she has also tried to describe the different activity that the farmer he takes in his farm. की अशा प्रकारे कविता संपली की जे कवयित्रीला असं म्हणायचंय की जो शेतकरी आहे तो शेतकरी कशा प्रकारे आपल्या शेतात मशागत करतो, त्याचे जे विविध हालचाली आहे, त्याचे जे कष्ट आहे, त्याचे जे एफर्ट्स आहे, ते एफर्ट्स. सो अगेन वी विल सी the entire summary of the poem in a short, and afterwards we will go we will see some poetic devices. We will study some poetic devices. So in the beginning, the poetess is in her porch. She is sitting in her porch veranda. It is the time of evening. All over we find the darkness there because it is the evening time. Sun is about to set, and maybe there are some stars twinkling in the sky, and even the working hours has also to come in. सकाळची सायंकाळची वेळ आहे, कवयित्री आपल्या जो वरांडा आहे, घरापुढे जी कमी जागा आहे, मोकळी जागा आहे, त्या जागेत बसलेली आहे आणि सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे सर्वत्र अंधुकता किंवा आपण संधी प्रकाश म्हणतो, संधी प्रकाश पसरलेला आहे. त्याच वेळेस कवयित्रीला असं म्हणायचंय की आकाशात ट्विलाइट हॅसन्स, की जो प्रकाश आहे, प्रकाश पसरलेला, आणि जे काम करण्याची जी शेतकऱ्यांची जी वेळ आहे किंवा सोवरची जी वेळ आहे ती आता देखील संपलेली आहे. आणि मग त्यानंतर she can also notice, she also notices that all over she found the shadows are spread all over the land, and she notices that there is a sower who lingers, who still remains in his farm, and maybe he's thinking something. He's old, he's in old clothes. His clothes are maybe stained with the spots, stained with the soil. He patiently stands there and looking at the picture of the farmer. The poetess, she felt very surprised, shocking maybe. की सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे सर्वत्र सावलीचं साम्राज्य पसरलेलं आपल्याला दिसून येतं, आणि त्याच क्षणी कवयित्रीला असं निदर्शन असतं की एक शेतकरी, तो सोवर आहे, जो पेरणारा व्यक्ती आहे, तो शेतात अजून घुटमळतोय. तर त्याची पर्सनॅलिटी, तो वयस्कर व्यक्ती आहे, त्याने जुने पुराणे फाटके कपडे घातलेले, कदाचित काम केल्यामुळे त्याच्या कपड्यांवरती काही मातीचे जे डाग आहेत ते डाग पण आपल्याला दिसून येतात, आणि तो व्यक्ती पेशंटली आपल्या शेतामध्ये उभा आहे. आणि हे सर्व बघून कवयित्रीला एकदम विलक्षण वाटतंय की त्याची जी सावली, ही सिल्हुएट, the outline image of the farmer is already seen in that is spread all over on the farm, and we can also notice the shadow, it is also spread in the dominance of heroes. And the farmer is thinking something, maybe he is thinking of sowing his farm, and maybe the task of the activity of sowing will be soon, and he thinking afterwards he will get the efforts, output of his efforts, that is the time will come to reap the crops. की त्या सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे त्याची जी प्रतिकृती, त्या सोवरची शेतामध्ये उभ्या असलेली ती प्रतिकृती सर्वत्र पसरलेली. इव्हन आपल्याला जे नांगरलेल्या ज्या रेषा आहे फरोजे, त्यामध्ये देखील आपल्याला त्याच्या प्रतिकृतीची जी सावली आहे त्याची प्रतिकृती आपल्याला दिसून येते. आणि तो शेतकरी काहीतरी विचार करत असणार आहे असं आपल्याला वाटतं. कारण सोविंग टास्क इज सेट, आणि तो विचार करतो शेतकरी की आता आपण पेरणी करणार. पेरणी केल्यानंतर काही दिवसातच जे पीक आहे ते पीक कापण्याची वेळ येईल किंवा कापण्याचे दिवस येईल आणि म्हणून and so he starts, he makes different type of and fro, and he spreads a precious grain through his hand. And so looking at this, the poetess, she rested in her thought, and she saw that the farmer, he walks with a long steps. आणि मग अशा प्रकारे तो शेतकरी काही आपल्या हालचाल करत असताना त्याच्या हातामध्ये कदाचित दाणे, आणि ते दाणे तो शेतामध्ये पेरतोय, पसरवतोय. आणि कवयित्रीला हे सर्व बघून कसं वाटतंय, एकदम आश्चर्यचकित होतं, म्यूज होतंय, अट्रॅक्ट होते, की ती देखील विचारामध्ये मग्न होते. आणि ती बघते की त्या पेरणारा जो व्यक्ती आहे किंवा जो सोवर आहे त्या सोवरच्या लांब पावले टाकत चालण्याचं देखील ती दृश्य बघत आहे. आणि सो देयर इज अ डार्कनेस, that is deep, that is a thick darkness, we can say it, and even the light has also went on. And so the activities, the signs, gestures of the farmer are attracted by the poetess. And so she says that activities, the way that the farmer, the sower, he works in his farm, his work is august, that is noble, very impressive. And she says that the height of the farmer, it seems to touch the starry skies. सायंकाळची वेळ असल्यामुळे सर्वीकडे अंधार पसरलेला आहे, आणि जो प्रकाश होता तो प्रकाश देखील आता निघून गेलेला आहे, कारण त्याची जागा अंधाराने घेतलेली. आणि ज्या शेतकरी जो सोवर की त्याच्या ज्या हालचाली वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या, मग ते पेरण्यासाठी जो हातवारी करत असेल किंवा हात पसरवत असेल किंवा हातातून जे ज्याने टाकत असेल त्याची हालचाल असेल, या सर्व हालचाली कवयित्रीने व्यवस्थित टिपलेल्या आहेत. आणि इन हर हाईट can see the starry skies. So towards the conclusion of the poem, we can see that the poem titled The Sower, written by Victor Hugo, is a magnificent poem dealing with both nature and humanistic picture. Yes, we can find that there are some natural and humanistic pictures are portrayed by the poet in a very magnificent. कवयित्रीने ज्या हालचाली आहे किंवा जो निसर्ग आहे किंवा जो मानवी गुण म्हणतो आपण, ह्युमॅनिस्टिक फीचर की मानवाचे जे वैशिष्ट्य ते एकदम व्यवस्थित रेखाटलेले. द वर्ड्स आर केअरफुली सिलेक्टेड अँड हॅव अ डिटेल्ड डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ ईच अँड एव्हरी इव्हेंट्स happen in front of the poet. So all the picture, all the events, all the situations are very well known, portrayed by the poet. की सर्व जे चित्र आहे, सर्व तो एकंदरीत आपण जे वर्णन शेतकऱ्याचं त्या सोवरचं एकदम व्यवस्थित कवयित्रीने वर्णन केले. द पोएम वॉज ट्रान्सलेटेड बाय द फेमस रायटर फ्रॉम द इंडिया तोरू दत्त. शी इज वेल नोन इंडियन रायटर. This translation is considered as most appreciated among all other translations of the poem. आणि ही कविता, this poem, it is translated by the Toru Dutt, a Bengali poet, from French poem of Hughes. ही कविता तोरू दत्त ज्या बंगाली पोएट आहे त्यांनी ही कविता ट्रान्सलेट केलेली आहे, इंग्लिशमध्ये त्याचं ट्रान्सलेशन केलेलं आहे. आणि ती कविता सर्वांकडनं ऑल ओव्हर दॅट पोएम इज व्हेरी अप्रिशिएटेड. What is the theme of the poem? The theme of the poem, it is describes a dedicated farmer who is striving hard tirelessly with huge expectations of having good harvest. This poem is about the description of a farmer who is always optimistic about his efforts, who works tirelessly in his farm. तो शेतकरी जो आपल्या शेतात काबाड कष्ट करत असतो आणि त्याला असं वाटत असतं की तो सदैव आशावादी, with the huge expectations, आणि त्याला खूप अपेक्षा आहे आपल्या शेतामधून उत्पन्न येण्याची. The farmer shows true perception in his assessment of scattering the precious grains in the farm. He has seen many bad harvests in his life. Still, he is hopeful and optimistic about his success. And in the beginning of the poem, we have seen that the farmer is very optimistic. He is dedicated. He dedicates everything. Yes, and he has also came across with very bad, that he has seen bad harvest. that is sometimes we find excess quantity of the rain, sometimes he suffers from the drought, sometimes very low quantity of the rain, or sometimes we can find hailstorms. की काही वेळेस आपल्याला असं बघितलं तर फार्मर त्यांनी खूप सीझन अनुभवलेले, खूप वेगवेगळ्या वातावरणाचा अनुभव घेतलेला आहे. एखाद्या वेळेस त्याच्या शेतात खूप अति पाऊस पडणे, अतिवृष्टी होणे, किंवा एखाद्या वेळेस गारपीट होणे, किंवा काही काळ दुष्काळ, अशा विविध प्रसंगाला, अशा विविध जे डिलेमा असे जे प्रॉब्लेम्स त्यांना तो सफर केलेला, टॅकल केलेलं आहे त्यांनी. 8. He is optimistic and overcome all his efforts. आणि अशा प्रकारे तो देखील आशावादी आणि या सर्वांवरती तो त्यांनी मात केलेली. He is looking forward to see a good harvest in the coming days, and he hopes, he expects that in future he will be soon see that his harvest, the harvest, it will be good for him. आणि तो अशी अपेक्षा बाळगतो आणि तो एकदम आशावादी आहे की भविष्यात काय होईल तर आपलं जे पीक आहे आपल्याला चांगला हार्वेस्ट येईल. सो द रायमिंग स्कीम ऑफ द पोएम वी कॅन सी, we will study only the first stanzas rhyming scheme, so we will get the idea how rest of the poems rhyming scheme can be. आपण फक्त एका परिच्छेदाची आपण कवितेचा जो परिच्छेद त्याची रायमिंग स्कीम किंवा रायमिंग वर्ड्स बघूया, बाकी तुम्हाला बरोबर त्याबद्दल कल्पना येईल. सिटिंग इन पोर्च वे कूल, यू कॅन सी कूल, फास्ट, रूल, फास्ट मीन्स कूल, रूल. A cool, fast, fast is different, so A fast. B again rule, rule and cool are the same, so again A, and past and fast and past, these are the rhyming words, so again B means the, so the rhyming scheme of the poem is A B means cool, rule, fast and past. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. So the poetess, she has also used figures of speech in the poem. So what is the function of figure of speech? Figure of speech, it decorates the language of the poem. It is the ornament of the poem. कवितेचा काय आहे, तो अलंकार आहे, कवितेचा एक दागिना आहे figure of speech. So the poem, it get enrichment from the figures of speech. कवितेला किंवा कवितेला जो एक सौंदर्य लागतं कशामधून तर ते अलंकारांमधून. So here we also find there are some figures of speech used. We can see a sower lingers still. So in this line there is alliteration figure of speech. What is the property of alliteration? When first sound of letter, that is called alphabet, it is repeated in the word, it is called figure of speech. त्याला अनुप्रासी अलंकार आपण म्हणू शकतो. Sower lingers still, S, this word, this alphabet, this sound, it is repeated in the poem, so it is alliteration. Second figure of speech is dominates the furrows deep. Here dominates the furrows deep, the dominates and deep, D word, D sound, the sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. Second figure of speech is used here, a personification. So the lines are, twilight hastens on the rule. Twilight, it is inanimate, it is not it has given the human quality, it is personified here because it has given human quality. Twilight is संधी प्रकाश आहे, तो प्रकाशाला काय दिलेले की मानवी वर्तणूक दिली किंवा मानवाची उपमा दिलेली, किंवा मानव जसंच करतो तसं. ट्विलाइट हा काही हालचाल करू शकत नाही, इट इज इनएनिमेट, आणि म्हणून ट्विलाइट इज पर्सॉनिफाइड हियर. शॅडोज रन अक्रॉस द लँड्स, शॅडोज रन अक्रॉस, shadows are personified, shadows cannot run, it is only the human being who can run, so the shadows is personified. And the last figure of speech we find inversion. Some examples of inversion also we find. For example, sitting in a porchway cool, the correct order should be sitting in. So what is the inversion? Inversion means the word order is not in proper sequence. शब्दांची जी रचना आहे ती SVO फॉर्म मध्ये नसते, सब्जेक्ट वर्ब ऑब्जेक्ट मध्ये नसते, आणि म्हणून त्याला म्हणतात इन्व्हर्जन. सो व्हॉट इज द प्रॉपर करेक्ट वर्ड ऑर्डर? सिटिंग इन अ कूल पोर्चवे. सेकंड एक्झाम्पल इज देअर, सनलाइट आय सी डाइंग फास्ट. सो व्हॉट इज द प्रॉपर वर्ड ऑर्डर? आय सी सनलाइट डाइंग फास्ट. सो दिस वॉज द व्हेरी ग्रेट poem by the greatest poet Toru Dutt, the sower, which is concerned with the farm and the different activities to express in the farm. So thank you very much. So today I stop here. Have a nice day. Enjoy. आता मी इथे थांबतो. Okay, I stop here. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, still we have time. Okay, still we have some time. We will describe some things in detail. Just as I said, that in the theme, we have find that the farmer has seen many bad harvests. Yes, he's suffering. Even we have many examples. We can say that the occupation of farmer, that is the sower, it is not a certain. Even we have government employees. Whatever may be happen, if there is drought, although if there is hailstorm, if there is excess rain, he is getting output of his work. But here does not happen with the farmer. शेतकऱ्याच्या बाबतीत असं घडत नाही. का? तर त्याचा जो व्यवसाय आहे, तो व्यवसाय कसा आहे? अनिश्चित आहे. सर्व इट इज डिपेंड ऑन द नेचर. की निसर्गावरती त्याचा जो व्यवसाय, तो व्यवसाय डिपेंड आहे. म्हणून त्याला व्हॉट एव्हर द आउटपुट दॅट विल गेट, इट इज नॉट सर्टन, की त्याला आउटपुट मिळेलच हे निश्चित नाहीये. जसं आपले जे रोजगार सरकारी कर्मचारी, ते कर्मचाऱ्यांचं कशी नोकरी ती कशी निश्चित आहे, निश्चित त्यांना वेतन मिळणार, निश्चित त्यांना पगार मिळणार, तसं त्याचं नाहीये शेतकऱ्याचं. He has to depend entire on the rain. And even we find that he has to perform different activities in the farm. And the way that he sows in the farm, he doesn't, maybe he will, there is no sure that he will get the value of that output. जोपर्यंत मार्केटमध्ये तो आणत नाही तोपर्यंत त्याची शाश्वती नाही. आणि सपोज he achieved a good output, अजून थोडा there is no certain that he will get value of his own output or efforts. For example, when the farmer he doesn't have crop with him, there is high value, there is cost. And when the farmer he has some grain, some crop with him, he doesn't get a value of that crop. असं बहुतेक वेळेस होतं, भरपूर मोठ्या प्रमाणात होतं. जेव्हा शेतकऱ्याकडे काहीच पीक नसतं त्यावेळेस काय होतं की त्याची शेतीची जी मालाची जी किंमत आहे ती किंमत मोठ्या प्रमाणात असते. आणि जेव्हा शेतकऱ्याकडे त्याचा माल तयार असतो त्यावेळेस मात्र त्याची किंमत नसते किंवा त्या मालाला किंमत मिळत नाही. सो दीज आर द थिंग दॅट द फार्मर्स ही सफर्स. And even when we go in market, yes, when we go in market or buy the vegetables, even that. Hello.
Yes.
So even when we go in market and purchase some vegetables, that time we bargain with the farmer, that is sower. For example, if the batch of any vegetable is cost, its cost is of 15 rupees. We bargain with the farmer and ask for 10 rupees. But this thing we don't in while shopping or when we go on, that is in hotels. की जेव्हा शेतकरीकडे जातो आपण, एखादी भाजीपाला विकत घेतो, त्या भाजीपाल्याची एखादी जुडी असेल तर जुडीची किंमत 15 असेल, आपण त्याला म्हणतो, बार्गेनिंग करतो की 10ला देतोस का, 8ला देतोस का, 5ला देतोस का, अशा प्रकारे बार्गेनिंग करत असतो. मीन्स इव्हन आय मीन्स ट्राय टू से दॅट की हे जे बार्गेनिंग त्याच्यामुळे शेतकऱ्याला जी किंमत त्याच्या अपेक्षेनुसार मिळत नाही. So these are the certain things that we even find that deals with the farmer, that affect that the farmer is made a victim of all over farmer. जो शेतकरी जो वगैरे त्याचा सगळीकडे चहूबाजून बळी दिले गेल्यासारखं असं आपल्याला दिसून येतं चित्र. So this was a very interesting poem. So these things I end. So today I
Hello, Jagrati ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Please start the ma'am session.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I will just share the screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So, good morning, everyone. In the last lecture, we had started with the sudden movements. Now we are coming to the end part, the last part of the chapter, that is volcanoes. In this chapter, we have been studying about the movements which are going on in the interior earth movements. As you all know, we studied about quick revision, or we will just quickly see what we have studied, and then I'll come to the today's topic. So we had seen about how the folding and faulting takes place in the interior of the earth, and how its various landforms are formed: fold mountains, block mountains. So these are all mountain building, continent building processes which are going on in the interior of the earth, and these processes are very, very slow processes. So formation of fold mountains, formation of block mountains, different types of folds are there, different types of faults are there. So all these movements are taking place in the interior of the earth. Then in the last lecture we had started the sudden movement. So as there are slow movements, there are sudden movements also. So even these sudden movements, they are going on in the interior, and in that we had started with earthquakes. Then we studied about the types of earthquake waves or seismic waves which are there. We studied about the shadow zone, how from 105 to 140 degrees no seismic waves are passing, so thus that becomes the shadow zone. Then we studied about the causes of the earthquake, how earthquakes are caused. So one of the reason is volcanicity, volcanic eruption. So which we are going to study types of volcanoes, how volcano erupts and all. Okay, so that even volcanoes are one of the reasons and causes of the earthquake. Then tectonic movements, definitely the tectonic movements are going on in the interior, where the different types of plates collide and earthquakes occur. And anthropogenic causes, that means man, we are also responsible for the causing of the earthquake at times, like during mining activities, during construction of dams, etc. We are making the land hollow, and thus the earthquakes are caused. Then in your textbook on page number 9, a link is given where you will find different earthquake zones of India. So you have to go through that link and you have to write about the states which are having least risk of these earthquakes. Some have some zones, some states, union territories must be in low seismic zone, some may be in high, some may be in moderate, some may be in very high seismic zone. So in all, we studied about the sudden movement, one of the sudden movement, that is earthquakes. Now, today we are going to study in detail about the volcanoes. So, here you can see now the moment we say volcano, or in your lower classes when you were asked to draw a volcano, it is but obvious that we make a mountain and we show some material which is coming out, which is being thrown out of this volcanic mountain, and we describe it as a volcano. So yes, that is one type of volcano. There are many types, there are many shapes of volcano. Formation of volcanoes take place in different ways. So it's very interesting to know how volcanic eruption takes place. Okay, so thus volcano is an opening in the earth's surface. So this is the earth's surface, an elevated part of the earth's surface, we call it as a mountain. So when from the mountain, from any part of the mountain, when some gases, some lava, some material is thrown out, or it is ejected out from the upper mantle portion, we describe it as a volcano. So something is coming out from a mountainous, from an elevated area from on the earth's surface, then it flows for several kilometers, cools and solidifies. So this we term as a volcano. Now here we are going to use particular terms. We are going to use materials are ejected, they are thrown out. So we are in 11th standard, we have to use proper terms, we have to use proper terminologies. So from the opening of the earth's surface, some material which is thrown out, which is ejected out. Now this material is in different form. When it is thrown out, and it flows on the surface of the earth for several kilometers, we term it as a volcano or volcanic eruption. So here in this image you can see bright colors. Okay, so this is the volcano, this is a mountain. Through the mountain, now this particular place through which the magma is being ejected, It is called as the mouth of the volcano, or an opening. Something is coming out from the volcano from a particular place at the topmost part of the mountain. So that is termed as the opening, or we call it as the mouth or vent of the volcano. So from this mouth, with force at times, with explosion. Now here you can see this image. Magma is not, whatever the material, liquid material is not coming out very slowly. It is being thrown in the air. So at times it comes out with explosion, it comes out with force, and then it flows over the area, cools and solidifies. So this is called as a volcano. Okay, and the eruption is called as the volcanic eruption. So based on the origin of eruption means the place from where the volcanic eruption or magma is thrown out. It can be classified into two types. So remember, basis of origin means the place from the mountain or on the earth's surface, the place from where the lava or the molten material is coming out, is oozing out, is thrown out. That particular place is the place of origin. So it is classified into eruption through cones and eruption through fissures. So cone is, as I said, when we were small, we used to draw a mountainous area, an inverted V. So that is called as the cone, a volcanic cone. Now because volcanic activities are taking place, so we term it as a volcanic cone. So from the cone, when the eruption is taking place, it is called as the volcanic eruption through cones. So the cones or the mouth of the volcanic mountain is the place through which the eruption is taking place. The other basis or the origin is through fissures. So if you remember, we studied fissure as a definition or as a point when we studied about folds and faults. So fissures are cracks which are developed on the earth's surface. So through these cracks, now here in this image you can see the magma is, again, it is being thrown out. So at times it is thrown out, or it is oozing out, oozing, it is oozing out slowly, or at times it is thrown in the air, but definitely not like the volcanic cones, where for meters together the volcano, the material is thrown in the air. So in the fissure type of eruption, the eruption takes place through the small cracks which are developed on the earth's surface, and then they, along the slope, they flow, they cool, they solidify, and different landform is formed. Similarly, when we talk about the eruption through cones, through the mouth, the volcanic eruption, the material is ejected at times with force, with too much of pressure. It blows off the mouth of the volcanic cone, and the eruption takes place, and volcanic eruption is going on. So based on the origin of eruption, we classify it through eruption through cones and eruption through fissures. Fissures means small cracks which are developed on the surface of the earth. Then based on the periodicity, okay, on the period, how quick or how frequent, how continuous the eruption is going on. So such volcanoes, based on the periodicity, the volcanic eruption is, or volcanoes are termed as active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes, extinct or dead volcanoes. Now the name suggests active volcanoes. Active volcanoes means continuously the volcanic eruption is going on very, very frequently. After every year, after every 2 years, the volcanic eruption is going on through these volcanic cones. So how frequent the activity is going on. Thus, depending on that, the volcanoes are named as active volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes. The other name for the dormant volcano is sleeping volcanoes. So, dormant volcanoes or sleeping volcanoes, like Kumbhakaran. So, for months together, for years together, there is no activity, no eruption, and suddenly one fine day continuously there is eruption which is taking place. So that is called as a dormant volcano. Again, dormant volcano or sleeping volcano means one eruption has taken place many years ago. Now for so many years, say 10 years, 15 years, there are no signs of any eruption. So we think that the volcano is dead. Now there is no volcanic activity which will take place. But suddenly one fine day there starts eruption. Now this eruption can be forcefully ejected lava, or the lava can move slowly through this volcanic cone. So thus this is called as a dormant or sleeping volcano. And the third one is the extinct or the dead volcano. The name suggests extinct or dead volcano means initially millions, thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, a volcanic eruption had taken place. Whatever is the magma, whatever is the material, it has ejected out of the volcano, and now there are no signs, there won't be any eruption in future. So we claim, give the term as the extinct or dead volcano. So these types of volcano depend on the period, how quickly, how frequently the eruption activity is taking place, or how continuous the activity is taking place. So active volcanoes are frequent volcanoes. Volcanic activities are quite frequent every year, every 2 years. Dormant or sleeping volcano is when the volcanic eruption is taken, say hundreds of years, say many years before, then for few years no eruption at all, and suddenly one fine day there is volcanic eruption. So that is termed as a dormant or sleeping volcano. And extinct or dead volcano is many years ago only the one eruption had taken place, and since then no activity, no eruption is taken place, and in future also no chances of the activity, volcanic activity. So thus these are the three types based on the period of eruption. Now, when we are talking about the eruption, some material is thrown out from the volcano. We draw some red color, orange color material which is being thrown out from the volcano. So such materials, we describe it or we distinguish it into three types. So volcanic materials are liquid. So whatever is coming out, whatever is being ejected out of the volcano, it is in form of liquid material. Liquid means not exactly like water, it is in a semi-molten form, semi-solid form we can say. So some molten rock material. Now we all know that magma is thrown out from the interior of the earth. You have studied this in your earlier classes also, that there are certain magma chambers in the interior of the earth, and this molten material is thrown out. So definitely, because in the interior of the earth there are rock particles, there are minerals, there are huge boulders. So these are because of the high pressure, high temperature, they get molten. They form into a semi-liquid form, semi-solid form also at times. So this molten rock material, which is below the earth's surface, when it is in the interior, or when it is in the magma chamber, it is called, this molten material is termed as magma. When it comes on the surface of the earth, when it is thrown out from the volcanic cone or through the fissure, and it flows for several kilometers on the surface of the earth, it is termed as lava. So molten rock material which is below the earth's surface is magma. When it comes out on the surface of the earth, it is called as lava. So on the basis of percentage of silica, it's a material which is found, and very important element which is found in the liquid material or in the volcanic eruption is silica. So depending on the percentage of silica, the volcanic cones or the liquid material is divided into two types. It is the acidic lava and the basic lava. So the lava which is coming out on the surface of the earth, depending on the percentage of silica, it is termed as acidic lava, which contains higher percentage of silica. So it quickly melts also and is thick also, and it also flows in a fluid form, and it moves very very slowly. So because of the high melting point, it becomes molten, it quickly thickens also, and it moves slowly, it moves very very slowly. Then basic lava, another type of lava, basic lava, it contains less percentage of silica. So it has low melting point and more fluid can flow over longer distance. So it does not cool down very, very fast. So it flows for several kilometers and then it cools down. So depending on the percentage of silica, we classify the lava as acidic lava and the basic lava. Another type of material which is thrown out from the volcanic activity is the solid material. So molten material is thrown out in form of lava. Along with that, even certain times or even in some eruptions, solid materials is also thrown out. So which consists of dust particles and rock fragments. So definitely from the interior of the earth, at times the dust particles or the rock fragments, the pieces of rocks which get broken, which get at times it because of the extreme heat of lava, the rock melts and a fine powdery form is formed, and such material which is very very fine is called as the volcanic dust. So here you can see in this image, the car or the vehicle is completely covered by the dust of this rock fragment which gets broken into very very fine parts. So this all happens because of the extreme pressure, extreme heat. Because of that extreme heat, the rock, it gets broken and it gets burnt, it gets broken into fine particles, powdery material, which we term as the volcanic dust. So this is one type of solid material. Another type of solid material is very 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 small size, which we call it as ash. So again, in through the volcanic eruption, many inorganic things are thrown out, they get burned and ashes are formed. So here you can see ash and the volcanic dust are almost the same, only there is in the particles, in the solid particles, there is difference in their size. So ash is one of the solid material which is thrown out. Then solid angular fragments, which are called, which are known as bricaceous. Bricaceous means stone-like particles, we can say. Okay, the rock particles which are thrown out, solid angular fragments, fragments of the rocks which are thrown out, and they are termed as the bricaceous. So stones, we can say, or rock particles bigger in size than the volcanic dust and the volcanic ash. They are termed as the bricaceous. And lava material which is thrown out in the air solidifies into small fragments before falling on the surface of the earth. So they are called as the volcanic bombs. So the molten material which it is thrown out in the air, because it is thrown out in the air, it cools and solidifies and falls on the surface of the earth. So such solid material is called as the volcanic bombs. So these are all the solid materials along with the molten material, liquid material, which is thrown out, which is ejected out from the volcanic cone or from the volcanic mountain. Then the third type of material which is thrown out from the volcanic cone or volcanic mountain is the gaseous material. So molten, solid, liquid and gaseous, all the three mediums, all the three types of materials are thrown out of the volcanic cone or the volcanic mountain. So dark cloud of smoke can be seen over the crater or over the mouth of the volcanic mountain. So depending on the base of the shape, such clouds are called as the cauliflower cloud. Cauliflower म्हणजे आपण जे भाजीमध्ये कोबी खातो किंवा फ्लॉवर खातो त्याचा जसा शेप असतो, तर हा जो स्मोक किंवा डस्ट जी व्होल्कॅनोच्या बाहेर येते किंवा व्होल्कॅनिक माउंटेनच्या वरती इट इज बीइंग थ्रोन, सो अ व्होल्कॅनिक dust is formed kiva smoke is formed, and it is in a form of cauliflower shape. So such clouds are called as the cauliflower clouds. And when this material is thrown out, it has various inflammable gases. Manje from the interior of the earth we can imagine ki there are different gases also in the interior of the earth which are very very harmful, which are inflammable, and these gases produce the flames. These gases along with the dust particle, along with the molten material, form cauliflower shaped clouds, and different types of gases are included in it. So thus the material which is thrown out from the magma, from the volcanic cone, volcanic mountain, are the molten, the solid and the gaseous material. Now, when we talk about the volcano, the eruption of volcano, there are different landforms which are formed because of the cooling and solidification of magma, of lava, which is being thrown out. So definitely whatever is coming out on the surface of the earth, it solid liquid material, it cools down and different shapes, different landforms are formed. So the very first landform is the lava domes. So dome shape म्हणजे semi-circular shape आपल्याला म्हणता येईल. So when the material is thrown out from the magma, it cools near, it comes on the surface of the earth around the mouth. So this is the volcanic mouth. आपण जर वरच्या प्रोजेक्शननी पाहिलं, so this is the volcanic mouth, जिथून lava is being thrown out. So this cools and solidifies, and a dome shaped feature, a semicircular feature is formed, and that is called as the lava domes. So this shape depends upon the fluidity of lava, म्हणजे त्याच्यात ऍसिडिक लावा आहे की बेसिक लावा आहे, बेसिक मटेरियल आहे. अकॉर्डिंग टू इट, अ डोम shape with steep slopes will, or with gentle slope, will be developing. So when the high dome shape with steep slopes are developed, it is because of the acidic lava. And when a broad base, म्हणजे त्याचा बेस खूप ब्रॉड असेल and gentle slope असेल, so it means that it is developed by the basic lava. So a dome shaped feature, a semicircular feature which is formed around the mouth of the volcano is called as the lava domes. So its steepness or gentle feature will be related to the acidic lava or basic lava. Then the lava plateaus. Here you can see a flat land. Now plateaus, we all know the meaning. We had studied it in the earlier lecture also. Plateau will have a flat top. It will have steep sloping sides. So because of the spread of lava is huge in quantity from a fissure volcano. So place of origin of volcanic material is through fissures or through cracks. So through these fissures or cracks, when the lava flows for several kilometers, it cools and solidifies, and this feature is called as a plateau. Because it is formed by the lava, cooling and solidification of lava, it is termed as a lava plateau. So these covers large areas and plateaus are formed. So we all are aware of the Deccan Trap, the Deccan Plateau. So this is an example. Deccan Trap is an example of the lava plateaus. So from the cracks, the lava ejected out, erupted out. It flowed along the slope for several kilometers, cooled and solidified, and a flat surface was formed that formed the lava plateau. Then comes the caldera, a very interesting feature, caldera. Now here caldera is again at the mouth of the volcano. So eruption of volcano brings about large quantity of material and relieves lots of pressure. So when a large and deep depression remains in that area. So now here you can see this was the first basic lava cone. This is the old lava cone. Again, after few years, the eruption took place. A new lava cone eruption takes place. Cooling and solidification takes place. The mouth of the volcano gets wider and wider. Okay, so here also you can see the mouth gets wider and wider, and from this again a new eruption takes place. So continuously from the volcanic cone, when eruptions are taking place, the depression becomes deep and it widens also. So these large depressions, depression म्हणजे आपण गड्ढा म्हणू शकतो, because continuously the lava is thrown out आणि त्याच्यामुळे तो गड्ढा डीप होत जातो. So the depression becomes more deeper and more wider. So the mouth of the volcano, पहिले जेव्हा आपण ड्रॉ करतो volcanic mountain, त्याचं टिप जे असतं that is very narrow, but जसं जसं वर्ष जातात and eruption takes place, blowing off takes place, the mouth gets wider and deeper also. So that forms a caldera. A large depression is called as a caldera. It can be around 10 kilometers wide and hundreds of meters deep. म्हणजे ही जी width आहे त्याची, it can be 10 kilometers wide and the depth can be several meters deep. So just imagine किती वर्षांपासनं the eruption has been taking place. Now this may later turn into lakes. ही जे depression आहे, this huge round किंवा this huge mouth later on turns into lakes. So smaller calderas are known as craters. म्हणजे caldera is one landform. From this caldera, another landform which forms lakes are formed. So what are these lakes called as? These lakes are called as the crater lake. So a funnel-shaped crater of an extinct or dead volcano gets filled with rainwater. किंवा it gets filled with water. कधी कधी melting of glacier, melting of snow मुळे पण the water gets filled in this crater. हा पहिले caldera असतो. Okay, then this caldera gets filled with water and a lake is formed. So this landform, this feature is called as a crater lake. So caldera is a pre-existing or remnant form of volcano ज्याच्यामध्ये continuously because of the blowing of the mouth becomes wider and wider and it even becomes deeper. Then the volcano, if it is dead, not every caldera turns into a crater lake. If the volcano becomes extinct, if the volcano is a dead volcano over a period of time because of rainfall, because of certain changes, because of the melting of the snow, water gets filled up in the depression and a lake is formed. So that lake is called as a crater lake. So now coming to the next very interesting feature is the volcanic plug. Now this volcanic plug you can see here in this first image. This is a volcano, this is a volcanic mountain. आपण ह्याला vent पण म्हणतो किंवा mouth पण म्हणतो. Okay, so the volcanic eruption, the magma is deep inside the earth's crust. And the magma, the volcanic eruption is taking place. This is through the mouth, the volcano comes out, the lava comes out, cools and solidifies. But many a times it happens that the magma cools down in the vent. This narrow pipe, जो imaginary pipe or a hollow you can see here, या vent madna the magma is thrown out. Okay, so many a times in this pipe itself, किंवा in the channel itself, the magma cools down. Okay, and then over a period of time, erosion of the landform takes place किंवा erosion of the mountainous area takes place and this forms a volcanic plug. So इथे in this image जरी आपल्याला we can see this solidified feature, solidified volcanic plug, but millions of years ago this particular feature was buried inside, which it was very very deep in the interior of the earth. आणि मग हे सगळं इरोजन झालं, त्याच्यावरती जे काही लँडमास होतं, जे काही माउंटेनियस एरिया होता, इरोजन झालं आणि नाव this volcanic material, this solidified pillar like formation आहे. So it is now standing upright on the surface of the earth. हे सगळं इथे erosion झालेलं आहे. So that forms the volcanic plug. So when the volcanic plug is formed when the lava solidifies in the volcanic neck. Volcanic neck म्हणतो आपण ह्याला किंवा vent म्हणतो किंवा pipe म्हणतो. Basically we call it as a pipe. It's an imaginary feature. या pipe मधनं the volcano is thrown out. So instead of coming out on the surface of the earth, it gets cooled down, block होऊन जातो. So this volcanic neck gets blocked by the solidification of lava. So that is called as a volcanic plug. Then are the cinder cone. So cinder cone, again, cinder is a material which is thrown out of the, which is being ejected out in large quantity. The solid material which is thrown out, and it consists of ash, cinder and brecciaceous. So whatever is thrown out, solid material which is thrown out from the volcanic magma, it is called as the cinder. So it consists of ash, it consists of half burnt pieces of solid material. Cinder means the half burnt pieces of solid material, and then it is thrown out. It gets deposited around the mouth until it gets into a conical shape. So it is thrown out, it settles down. The cinder is thrown out, solid material is thrown out, it settles down at the mouth of the material. So this forms steep slope, and such are called, such conical hills, a conical hill is formed. So that forms a cinder cone. Unlike the caldera मध्ये काय होत होतं, the mouth was getting broader because of the blowing off. पण इथे सिंडर कोन मध्ये काय होतंय, द मटेरियल इज इजेक्टेड, इट सेटल्स नियर द माउथ. त्यामुळे सेटल झाल्यामुळे कूलिंग आणि सॉलिडिफिकेशन टेक्स प्लेस नियर द माउथ ओनली, and a steep slope or cone shape is formed. So that forms a cinder cone. Example is Mount Nuovo in Italy. So this Mount Nuovo doesn't have a very steep, doesn't have a very broad mouth. It doesn't form a caldera, but it forms a cinder cone. Then is a composite cone. Another feature is the composite cone. Composite म्हणजे more than one. So when now this is your volcano, one eruption takes place, because there are cracks and features, fissures which are found. So magma flows through these fissures and cracks, and it comes on the surface of the earth. So more than one cone is formed. So that forms a composite cone or composite volcano. So this is built up of alternate layers of lava and cinder. So composed of two materials, and therefore they are called as the composite cones, and they are symmetrical in shape. So the lava is also flowing through the cracks, the cinder is also found, and rock materials are also found. Through the vent the lava is coming out, through the cracks the lava is coming out, and it forms composite cones. Mount St. Helens in USA is an example of composite cone. More than one cone can be found in the volcanic region. So such are termed as the volcanic cones. Now coming to the last part, all of now we have studied about the volcanoes, the different shapes of volcanoes based on the period of eruption, based on the origin of eruption. We have termed about various types of volcanoes. Then we had seen about the different landforms which are formed by the volcanic eruption. Now we will see about the distribution of earthquakes and volcanoes. So there are major belts or zones of earthquakes and volcanoes. So wherever there is an earthquake zone, there can be a volcanic zone also. So it is the circum-Pacific. Circum-Pacific means entire Pacific Ocean. Now when you see the globe, we will see that the Pacific Ocean is on the both side. Both side म्हणजे Pacific Ocean is surrounding. So that is called as the circum-Pacific belt. Circum म्हणजे complete circumference, round. So here also towards the west you will see Pacific Ocean, towards the east also you will see Pacific Ocean. कारण आपण हा map flat केलेला आहे. But when you make it into, when you see a globe, Pacific Ocean is all around. So in this Pacific Ocean you will find major plates, you will find continuously the oceanic and the continental plates collide with each other, and a continuous belt of volcanoes are found. So that is called as ring of fire. Ring of fire means many active volcanoes are found in this circum-Pacific belt, which are continuously erupting. So they are termed, this particular region is termed as the ring of fire, and you will find that it includes the western coastal areas of the eastern and the western coastal areas of the Pacific Ocean. High volcanic cones and mountains can be seen in this belt. Cotopaxi is one of the major highest volcanic mountain which is found in this belt. Fujiyama, again active volcanoes. Fujiyama in Japan, Mount St. Helens in Washington, USA, Pinatubo and Mayon in Philippines are other significant active volcanoes which are found in this circum-Pacific belt. Then is the Mid-Atlantic. The name suggests Mid-Atlantic means in the Atlantic Ocean. Again, you will find many active volcanoes are found. So Iceland also has active volcano area, and this entire Mid-Atlantic belt is having a volcanic and earthquake zone or earthquake belt. And then is the Mid-Continental Belt. The Mid-Continental Belt includes volcanoes of alpine mountain chain, Mediterranean Sea, volcanoes in this Mediterranean Sea, Stromboli, Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna. All these important volcanoes are found in the Mid-Continental Belt. So these are all the regions where you will find the volcanic activities are taking place. The Pacific Ocean, circum-Pacific Ocean, ring of fire, Mid-Atlantic, and the Mid-Continental Belt. So these are all having earthquakes and volcanic prone zones. So here we have finished with the chapter, the first chapter. I hope you all have understood. So go through these chapters. There are interesting activities also which are there. Yes, sir. I have finished with the chapter.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.